Have you ever looked up at the stars, or observed the incredible complexity of life on Earth, and wondered, how did all this begin? For centuries, humanity has sought to understand the ultimate origin of everything, and although science has made remarkable strides in explaining the mechanisms of our world, the question of ultimate origins still stands. Today, we are going to delve into some profound ancient arguments that point towards the existence of an eternal and singular creator. Let's start by exploring the idea of an uncaused cause. Every event we observe in the universe appears to have a cause or a reason for its occurrence. Day follows night because the Earth rotates on its axis. Thunder follows lightning because a plasma discharge heats the surrounding air. But what about the universe itself? What caused it to begin? Science tells us that the Big Bang was the event that set everything in motion. But that doesn't answer the question of what caused the Big Bang. The universe as we know it cannot explain its own existence. Think about the process of writing. Every book, every article, every message is the result of someone sitting down and putting pen to paper or fingers to keyboard. But who was responsible for the first inscription on the first piece of clay? Who initiated the first scribblings on cave walls that eventually evolved into the written word? Any series of events, no matter how complex, is ultimately dependent on a starting point, an initial action that sets the dominoes falling. So too with the universe, all the laws, particles and elements that make up the cosmos can't explain their own existence. They must have been set in motion by an external force. This force, which is beyond the realm of the universe it created, can only be described as a cause outside of nature. In other words, an eternal creator. This idea is beautifully expressed in the Bible, which states, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth." This simple sentence elegantly sidesteps the complexities of the question, how did the universe begin? By attributing the act of creation to a being whose existence is self-sufficient, eternal, and therefore not bound by the constraints of time and causality. Let's move on to our second proof, the argument from design. If we look around us, whether it's the intricate workings of a cell, the balance of ecosystems, or the grand sweep of galactic formations, we see evidence of design everywhere. A random arrangement of atoms couldn't assemble itself into a functioning heart. A chance scattering of chemicals couldn't spontaneously generate a self-replicating DNA molecule, and the vast array of celestial bodies couldn't just pop into existence without a guiding hand. The argument from design hinges on the concept of intelligent cause and effect. Just as a watch requires a watchmaker, the universe requires a universe maker. Consider the human body. It's an incredibly complex machine composed of countless moving parts that all work together in perfect harmony. Even the most rudimentary functions, like blinking or breathing, involve a delicate interplay of nerves, muscles, and organs that couldn't possibly arise from random chance. The very fact that we are able to look up at the stars and contemplate our place in the universe is a testament to the incredible design of our sensory organs, nervous system, and brain. Similarly, the solar system couldn't just assemble itself into a stable, habitable system without some sort of guidance. The delicate balance between the Earth and the Sun, the gravitational harmony of the planets, and the presence of water on our planet all point to a deliberate act of creation. This isn't just a scientific argument, it's a philosophical one too. How could something so complex and finely tuned come about through a series of random events? The answer seems to lie in the intentional act of a creator who brought order out of chaos, who set the wheels of the universe in motion, and then stepped back to marvel at the grand tapestry they had woven. Interestingly, this idea of a guiding intelligence behind the universe is echoed in various cultures and myths. From the Native American creation stories that speak of a great spirit to the myths about the trickster god who shaped the world to the Chinese legend of the cosmic craftsman, there's a common thread of a divine architect who brings order to the universe. These stories aren't mere tales. They reflect a deep-seated human intuition that the universe, as we know it, couldn't have come about by chance. Our third proof lies in human limitations. Human beings tend to think of themselves as pretty special. After all, we are the ones pondering the mysteries of the universe, contemplating our place in it, and striving to understand how it all began. But when we take a step back and consider the grand scale of things, we realize just how insignificant we are. We are like a tiny drop of water in the vast ocean of the universe, a single grain of sand on the infinite beaches of space-time. We are limited by the senses, confined by the boundaries of our planet, and bound by the laws of physics that govern our world. We can only perceive a tiny sliver of the electromagnetic spectrum. We can only explore a fraction of our solar system, and we can only comprehend a minuscule portion of the vast expanse of the universe. If we were ants, we might assume that the entire forest was our universe. If we were microbes, we might think the confines of a petri dish were all that existed. Our limitations shape our understanding of the world. And when we apply this logic to the question of creation, it becomes clear that we can't possibly conceive of an eternal, self-sufficient being who exists outside of the very concept of time and causality. We are simply too small, too limited, too bound by the laws of the universe we inhabit to truly understand how it came to be. It's like standing at the bottom of a canyon looking up at the towering walls. No matter how far we stretch, we can't see the top. And if we were to try and measure the height of the canyon, our tools would be hopelessly inaccurate. We are stuck in the here and now, constrained by the laws of physics that we can't hope to fully understand. Yet we seek to understand how the very laws of physics came into being. It's like a chicken trying to figure out where the sun comes from. No matter how much it scratches at the bars of its cage, it can't comprehend the vastness of the sky or the complexities of orbital mechanics. Its limited perspective simply won't allow it. This realization isn't meant to discourage us. Rather, it's a call to humility. It reminds us that we are part of the universe we inhabit, not its creator. Our place is to marvel at the complexities of existence, and to acknowledge that there are some questions we may never fully answer. It also directs us to look beyond ourselves, to consider perspectives and possibilities that lie outside the confines of our own limited understanding. Maybe we need to expand our minds, our senses, and even our very consciousness to grasp the truth of how everything began. And finally, let's discuss the problem of multiple creators. Suppose we reject the idea of an eternal creator and instead entertain the notion of multiple creators. What kind of problems does this scenario present? Firstly, it raises the question of who created the creators. If each creator is bound by the laws of the universe they inhabit, then who created those laws? And if they too are bound by the same limitations, then who created them? This line of questioning quickly leads us back to the same starting point. The need for an uncaused cause, a prime mover who wasn't created by anything or anyone. But there's another problem with the idea of multiple creators. It undermines the very concept of creation. If there were multiple creators, then the universe, as we know it, wouldn't be a unified whole. Instead, it would be a jumbled mess of conflicting forces, particles, and laws. There couldn't be two sets of opposing forces that both resulted in the formation of the universe, just as there can't be two simultaneous infinities. This inherent conflict eliminates the possibility of multiple creators, driving us back to the conclusion that the act of creation must have been initiated by a single eternal source. The notion of a singular creator isn't just a theological concept, it's a logical necessity. the existence of multiple creators would introduce contradictions and conflicts that would make the very concept of a created universe nonsensical. And finally, let's turn to the issue of time. If time had a beginning, if it was created, then what existed before that moment? The concept of time, as we understand it, with its past, present, and future, relies on the assumption that there was always something existing outside of time. Time, like the universe itself, can't explain its own existence. It needs a starting point, a 0 point from which it can begin to unfold. This again points us back to the idea of an eternal creator, a being whose existence isn't bound by the limitations of time and causality. To summarize, our journey today has led us through 3 profound proofs that point towards the existence of an eternal creator, the uncaused cause, which argues that everything in existence must have been set in motion by a being outside of the causal chain, the argument from design, which highlights the intricate order and complexity of the universe as evidence of a guiding intelligence, and the recognition of human limitations, which underscores our inability to truly comprehend an eternal, self-sufficient being. Furthermore, we've explored the problem of multiple creators and the issue of time, both of which lead to logical inconsistencies and underscore the need for a singular eternal source of creation. These proofs aren't just intellectual exercises. They touch on the very essence of our existence. They invite us to consider our place in the grand scheme of things and to contemplate the mystery of how the universe came to be. Whether we arrive at this conclusion through scientific observation, philosophical reasoning, or spiritual revelation, one thing remains constant. The universe didn't just happen. It was created. I'd love to hear your thoughts on these ancient proofs for the existence of an eternal creator. Do you find them compelling? Do you have any insights or perspectives you'd like to share? Feel free to join the discussion in the comments section below. And if you enjoyed this journey through ancient wisdom, don't forget to subscribe to stay updated on our upcoming explorations. Thank you for joining me on this enlightening 10-minute philosophical dive. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and above all, keep seeking the truth.